Hey everybody, it's Corvette Dan. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to give you a video here on the C7 Corvette Vararam tips and tricks. We were going to do a full video on installing this, but I will tell you that's going to bring me to my first tip and trick. Get an extra set of hands, folks. 2 people. This was kind of a pain, and and I did it myself, but it kind of pretty much killed my chances of doing an effective video. So, can you do it yourself? Yes. I would say get an extra set of hands for holding this, or, I'll explain more here in a minute. But as you can see, the completed product cleans up the engine compartment quite a bit compared to their stock airbox and big bellows. That's a muffler, actually, to reduce the sound of the intake air coming in. So we're going to swing around here for a minute. We're going to start talking about some of my tips and tricks. And there's your Vararam. Okay? You can follow the directions, but you're going to have to kind of improvise a little bit here. When they tell you about, installing the clamps, these clamps, and leaving them, hand tight, and then these clamps, they tell you to put it back, put it together, tighten this bolt first, follow that bolt, and then tighten them up, and it will kind of force fit, itself in nicely. Well, these things kind of pull themselves apart here a little bit. So, yeah, take it back off after you do that. And what I found that I ended up doing is I ended up adjusting this per the directions, but when I put it back on, instead of bolting it here first, as per the directions, I went and I put the bellows here and clamped it down, and then retighten that. You'll understand when you're doing this, and that seemed to work better for me to get this thing to align. Another thing I wanted to point out: you get this hose. And this car is a Z51 equipped car. I don't know if you're going to have the same thing with non-Z51 equipped cars, but as you can tell, I would have liked to have routed it, nice and purty, but they didn't give me enough hose. So I had to cut that hose to give me a section on this side. And I probably would have even liked that hose to be another 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch thicker. Okay? But basically it does clean up the area. I'd get someone with an extra set of hands. Putting this bellows on here is a bear, to say the least. That is the toughest part of this whole job. What I ended up doing is taking that bellows off, putting it in a container of almost too hot to put your hands in water, and then I took this plastic tube leading from the box to here, and I put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes. So you can see how this wasn't really going to work out for a full install video. Some of the tools you're going to need is a 10mm socket, a 7mm socket. You're going to need a 5/16 socket. You're going to need a ratchet. You're going to need an extension, and the small extension and a long extension. Okay, maybe a nice little battery-driven ratchet to zip these out really quick might help. Just be patient. I would say when you start it up, make sure you check for codes. It will take time the car will take time to adjust to it, from what I've heard. But you will definitely hear a little more under the hood in terms of, it's really hard to describe, so I'll just let you witness it or experience it for yourself. That's important to get this seal in here the best you can. And I just put this on, literally, so I'm still working trying to get this seal in here. They did not really provide me a great way of sticking this, so I kind of had to improvise again. If you don't have mechanical ability to, let's say, do a brake job where you're removing rotors from a car, I wouldn't attempt it. If you've done a Vararam on any Vette, even the C5, it's seen here covered, I did a Vararam on this. Yes, it was a giant pain, but if you've done it successfully, like I have, you'll be fine, because you'll know what you're going to be up against. They're just not, I don't know, they just, it's not necessarily the directions, it's just these couplers, right? that are really hard to fit and get to line up correctly. I mean, other airbox systems I've installed in these cars, and yes, getting that coupler just right to get everything, you know, to fit, yes, it can be a pain. So I'm going to head to the parts store here, and I guess I'm getting a couple of hoses now because I don't like the way this looks. Either that, or I'll just get a longer hose and cut a piece of that and make that hose a little longer. But as you can see, not ideal, cosmetically anyway. Another thing they point out is that, okay, these hoses that go into this bellows, okay, there's these press fittings, right? That's plastic. It goes into the hose and it goes into the coupler, right? It says they're beveled cut, and you want to face the bevel towards the engine. They're not bevel cut. So we're going to see if that poses me a problem down the road here. I don't plan on doing any road trips for a few weeks. I'll drive this thing enough to know. But if so, you could take that, you know, it's just a plastic barb, if you will, and you just slice it enough with a sharp razor. And be very careful not to cut yourself. These days you can go to your big box home improvement store and buy some cut gloves that'll at least help when you're cutting something with a razor knife. So be careful if you do that. Honestly, I really don't have anything bad to say about Vararams. Those that claim they don't do anything, well, I guarantee you it did something to my C5. No, I did not dyno it, but I definitely felt a significant seat of the pants improvement by just putting on the Vararam. That's even before I did the tune on it, before the thermostat. So the Vararam alone did something to that car. I saw a video years ago of General Motors engineer. They put a Vararam on a C6. And they ran and they got a quarter-mile difference of 0.297 seconds. And I saw that, I believe, on YouTube. So it may still be out there. So do I believe this will improve the performance a little bit? Yeah. Do I believe that I did it just for that? No, I also did it to clean up this engine bay. You see, I didn't like this big muffler-looking thing, as you may not either. And here's the bellows I'm talking about. They actually give you an extra one. This is for the, I believe this is for the non-Z51 because it has one PCV hole in it. This is the Z51, it has two. You're going to end up removing your PCV lines entirely, including the, just save them. You know, you're going to sell the car, you'll probably return it back to stock and sell your Vararam to get half the money back. Anyway, that's really about all I got to say. I do like the Vararam products. Not only that, it came with a green filter, which means that I'll just have to clean and reuse the same filter over and over, saving me money in the long run over the paper elements. Another reason why I like the Vararam or any other aftermarket airbox of your choice. I just choose Vararam. I'd like to hear what you think about all of this. Your comments are appreciated. Click that bell. You'll be notified of future videos. Folks, this is Corvette month still, August and September. I drop videos every day. So by clicking that bell, you're going to get notified every time I drop a video. And as you may have saw, if I think a video didn't quite grab the audience, I'll drop another one same day. Anyway, this channel is all about you folks. And the more you comment, the more you like, the more you subscribe, the better it's going to get. Until the next one, everybody. Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.